Hello again, everybody, and welcome to CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, soon to be joined by Pistol Pete Poyer, and we are at Pie High for men's hoops. We've got the Pioneers taking on the visiting Eagles. This will be an interesting SEC Red matchup. Both of these squads have a lot of fun players that like to air it out. They've got long shooters, players for the Eagles like Kabir Bergen. You've got Chris Caton as a point guard, as a wing for the Eagles. And then for the home Pioneers, players like Rashid Sampson and Mac Fly have been lighting up this team all season long. Stick around, tip-off is right around the corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Pete Poyer, along with Nick Wisniewski, and we have boys basketball coming at you. The Pioneers at 7-6, taking on the visiting Skyline Eagles at 9-4, and we are just about ready to tip this up. Nick, what are you looking for tonight?
Evenly matched contest, Pete. I think that both of these squads do a lot of things well. I think we're going to see some really fun games off the boards, and I think we'll see a lot of up and down action.
There's a shot by Skyline, and a bucket and a foul. Denali Deloach with the bucket. He will head to the line to try and finish the three-point play right off the opening tip. And that free throw is good. Skyline takes the early 3-0 lead.
Great play by Bergen to draw that defense in, find Deloach. An easy bucket for him. We talked about Deloach a little bit before the game. That kid can jump, Pete. He's long, he's really athletic, and he can get up there. He can jump out of this gym.
There's a steal by Skyline down the floor, off the glass, no good. Putback is no good, and we have a whistle. And another foul call on the Pioneers.
And this is the second meeting of these two teams this year, Pete. Skyline Eagles came away with a victory in that first matchup, that first meeting over in the Eagles' nest.
Deloach back at the free throw line. Gets the first one to go. Aiden Lee is going to come out of the game and picked up 2 fouls within the first 29 seconds of the game.
Not the start you want on a Friday night if you're that young man. And especially when you're fouling Deloach, who has 3 free throws for him. That's really what you want from your big man. Whether it's closing the game out or it's starting off strong, giving your team a 5-0 lead in the first 30 seconds.
Deloach scoring the first 5 points of the game for the Eagles. Pioneer back on offense. Another near steal there by Deloach. Very active defensively. There's a nice scoop and score by Mac Van Rentergem. And he draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for an attempted 3-point play.
You see Van Rentergem cross him over, cut right into the lane in between a couple of Skyline players, and he is pumped. Wants to get his team on the board. That's the first bucket for the Pioneers and gets them within 2 now.
Both teams active offensively to start the game. That's good for us. We're going to get a good game here, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any running away with this one. I feel like this is pretty evenly matched. And there'll be a lot going out throughout the course of this game, whether it's players like Bergen down there playing down low, whether it's teams polishing the offensive glass or going out long.
Board by Connor Easthope for Pioneer. Now Van Rendregem gets the bounce pass into the paint. It's to Sampson, but stripped away from him, and here come the Eagles. Now, Deloach. Nope, let's check that.
Jermaine Davis.
Jermaine Davis in the lane. No basket in any event. It'll be Pioneer ball. Eagles playing some tight defense. There's a steal back down the floor. Like Jack Williams was trying to alley-oop it and out of position were the Eagles. There's a three-pointer by Van Rendregem. And Pioneer takes the lead back 6-5.
And Van Rendregem with the 6 points for the Pioneers and Deloach with 5 for the Eagles, and they're the lone scorers for both teams.
For three again, that's pure, nothing but net. And Mac Van Rendregem is pumped.
Van Rendregem is feeling it. 9 points in the first 3 minutes here.
Well, I'm telling you, Nick, from our perspective here on the floor, you could just see that ball was going
right
into the hoop.
I think it has a lot to do with those shoes. Monochromatic, all purple.
Near knockaway by Van Rendregem, and the putback by Eagles is off the mark, no good.
See Chris Caton playing really tight D on Van Rendregem.
Van Rendregem loses the dribble, picked up by Deloach, knocked away from him and off his foot and out of bounds. It'll go back the other way. Pioneer basketball.
Van Rendregem did a really nice job playing off that screen at the top, but Deloach was ready to go. You'll see him try to keep his hands. Actually, that was Rendregem's last three-point bucket. He knew it right away. You said it. We knew it. He knew it. That ball was in the groove the whole time. The second it left his hands.
Sampson out top. Sampson with the attempted shot. It's no good, but he will draw the foul.
There's that last cut into the lane. I think they called that one on Jack Williams.
First one no good. 4:18 to go here in the first quarter. Pioneer with the early 9-5 lead. And Sampson will add a point to that, make it 10-5. There's a knockaway by Easthope all alone. He'll take it in and put it up and lay it in for Pioneer.
And this is the point in the broadcast where we're contractually obligated to talk about Connor Easthope being the quarterback for the Pioneers as well in the fall.
With that basket, the Eagles will call a timeout and take some time to talk about what's going on offense for them.
Yeah, stop the bleeding a little bit here for the Eagles. After those first 28, 29 seconds, not a lot has been going right for Skyline.
You see the Pioneers in the huddle getting their instructions from head coach Rich Marion. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. You want to watch these games because they're high action and they're fun to watch. So tune in on YouTube. Stunning high definition.
Stunning it is. Stunning indeed.
I was literally stunned on my couch.
Didn't know what to do.
No.
I get that a lot. Pretty much life, actually.
I was basking in the glow of Nick Wisniewski. High definition glow, I might
Learned
add.
everything I know from you, Pete Poyer. There's Will Gardner. A couple of weeks ago when Game of the Week was over at Huron, he was a real spark plug for the Eagles.
Eagles working it down low. I think they got what they wanted. They got a good shot. They just Gardner was able to finish the shot. Shot is off the mark for the Pioneers. Quickly back down the floor. Come the Eagles. DeLoach has it. Handed off for a three-pointer on the way, and that just off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Gardner. Kick it out for another three. And that is good.
Jack Williams from the corner there. I tell you, this Eagle squad is never out of a game between Williams and Caton. Their backcourt is exceptional from beyond the arc.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's been back and forth, up and down. Pioneer with the 4-point lead. They throw it away. We have a whistle before the shot. Looks like Mac Van Renderham will pick up the foul there.
Yeah, see, if that ball gets stuck when I'm playing hoops, game's over. I just can't. I got to go home.
Around, or,
if I've got like a slingshot or something, maybe I have to take off a shoe and chuck it at it.
There you go. Skyline will work the offense. Nearly threw it away there. A step back jumper on the way and good.
Bergen, real professional shot there, doing a great job off the dribble, steps back, making his own shot, making his own opportunity.
Knock away by Gardner. He'll pick it up, hand it down the floor for the easy scoop and score by Chris Caton.
And just like that, we're all tied up, Pete. Coming out of that timeout, that Skyline timeout. Whatever Coach Lovelace told them, it's working.
See Chris Caton there clapping his hands as he's fired up after that bucket. A nice pass down low for another score by Pioneer. Kobe Moore with the bucket for Pioneer.
Kobe Moore, great bucket there. One of the things that he's really made a name for himself for, though, so far this season, though, is rebounding, especially off the offensive glass. Coach Marion couldn't stop talking about how important he is. That
was a great cut by Moore on that bucket. An air ball by Skyline. Van Renderham looking to pull up, but he'll kick it back out to Moore. Moore looking to drive the baseline. He'll put up the shot, knocked away. Bergen will pick that up and hand it off, and Eagles will head back down the floor. Here's Caton again. He has the drive, and he's fouled on the shot.
Great job by Caton. They're going right at Mac Van Renderham. And he may be coming out. Might think we're ready for a couple of substitutions here. We got a few players down by the scorer's table. Caton goes into his first attempt.
First one is no good. .80 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
We got Denali DeLoach and James Harrison back in for the Eagles. And DeMarcus DeWolf checks in for the Pioneers.
Caton's second effort is good. Closes the lead to 1 for Pioneer. Three-pointer is blocked.
That right there is what DeLoach brings to the team right there, Pete. Just that length and quickness out there, blocking
Pioneer
that long
kept
three-point
possession.
shot.
There's a three-pointer on the way from Mikhail Fly, and that's good. Trying to trade three-pointers, and that one misses the mark with an air ball. Jack Williams there. Williams just rushed that shot, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, the shot was rushed a little bit. Nothing rushed there on that fly shot there, though.
Williams was sitting down. You got to be careful not to get too emotional, get caught up in the emotion of the game and the energy. You always have to play under control. It's a jumper off the rim, no good.
Completely correct, Pete, because with only 36 seconds here to go in this first quarter, Pioneers have 5 fouls, 5 team fouls. So staying under control, staying smart is going to be huge here.
Pioneer trying to work it down low. We have a whistle. And a turnover. It'll be Skyline basketball, just 27.6 to go. Here in quarter number 1. Skyline down 4.
You see Jermaine Davis bring the ball up with Chris Caton out of the game right now.
Five-second call on Williams. Kobe Moore with some great defense there on the ball. Pioneer has 8.6 seconds to work a shot. Knocked away into the backcourt. Kabir Bergen with the shot off the back of the rim, no good. And that'll do it for quarter number 1. Lots of action, up and down play. Pioneer with the 4-point lead, 17-13. We're going to take a break and be back here with CTN Sports Game of the Week.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community.
How will 2020 census data be used? Where there are more people, there are more needs for public services. That's why the census is used by the government to inform funding decisions each year. But that's not all. It's also used by nonprofits to inform services, by businesses to create jobs, and even by students for school projects. Understanding how the population changes helps us shape communities across the country for the better.
How does the 2020 census affect representation? There are 435 seats in the House of Representatives. These get distributed to the 50 states by population, and an accurate census response helps your state get the right amount of seats. States with smaller populations get at least 1, while states with larger populations might get more.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you.
Is my 2020 census data safe? After sending your census response, your personal information is kept safe. By law, it can't be shared with any other government agency, law enforcement, or landlord. No one. So take your 2020 census with peace of mind. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
And welcome back to quarter number 2 here on CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Pete Poyer along with Nick Wisniewski. All the play-by-play call for you. Up and down, high pace first quarter. A couple of threes from Mac Van Rennerham made the difference in the Pioneers. They lead it by 4.
Blink and you miss it, Pete. That first quarter went by in a heartbeat, even with 7 fouls being called.
Pioneer with it, opening the quarter on offense. little bit of a sloppy pass there. Pioneer turns it over. Gives the ball back to the Eagles.
Chris Caton back in for the Eagles, their traditional point guard wingman. He's going to be bringing the ball up for the most part the rest of this game.
Trying to get it down low to Bergen. Bergen's pass. DeLoach cannot handle it. Now, Eagles will turn it over and hand it back to Pioneer to start this second quarter.
And I think what the Eagles are trying to do right now is the right idea. They want to get the ball down low and try to utilize some of that height that they've got going on right now between DeLoach, Bergen, the strength of Davis. And yet there is a monster dunk by Rasheed Sampson for the Pioneers.
Oh, great job there by the Pioneers to break that press and get to the open man. There's another shot put up by Skyline, blocked. Out of bounds, it'll be Pioneer basketball.
Here we see that last opportunity. Like you said, great job breaking that press. Just some zigzag passes, and they find Sampson right in the block. Easy dunk there for the Pioneers. And a 6-point lead.
There's a steal by, was that Caton? Yeah, Chris Caton. His shot is no good, but Skyline will keep it on the offensive board. Trying to work it down into Bergen, and we have a whistle and a foul call.
Pioneers being a little too aggressive defensively. You see Bergen doing a great job of working himself down and getting good positioning. At that point, there's not much you can do other than foul him, rather than letting him have an easy bucket.
Caton will drive it down the lane, and the floater into the hoop is good. Back down the other way, Sampson with a little soft jumper, and he scores it for Pioneer. 6:15 to go here in quarter number 2.
Nice touch by Sampson on that last shot. He's been just a godsend for the Pioneers down on that block.
Down the lane, Kobe Moore will scoop it and score it off the glass.
Kobe Moore with an acrobatic move and finish down low.
Back to Caton. Caton will throw it in off the glass for the Eagles.
And Chris Caton seems to really thrive driving into the net, Pete. He's not satisfied to just be a wing player that stays out along the perimeter. He loves slashing, he loves cutting into the lane, and whether it's finishing off with a layup or dishing to an open teammate.
Well, both teams' defense is a little back on their heels right now. There's a steal by the Eagles. Down the floor. Kick it back out top for 3 from Bergen, and nothing but net for Kabir Bergen.
That 6-point lead seems to be the threshold for both these teams. Nobody wants to get beyond that.
Bergen cuts the lead in half, and there's another steal by the Eagles. Nice block, but the putback by Caton is good, and the Eagles are just down 1. Oh, Moore lost the handle, threw it away. Here comes Caton down the floor for the Eagles. He'll put it up and score it again. And just like that, the Eagles take the lead. And timeout on the floor. Rich Marion says, enough of that. Let's call some timeout.
Well, and a lot of these plays, other than that last one, are made from a lot of contact. It really seems like these referees are letting the players play. There's lots of contact. There's lots of bumping. Here you can see Caton getting pushed just a little bit the whole way down. But he doesn't get upset about it. He doesn't throw his arms up. He doesn't look to the referees for the call. He just keeps pushing forward and finishes his play. And the same thing happened with Jack Williams down on the previous play coming through. Not afraid to take a little bit of contact and fight through it.
Well, 4:39 to go until halftime.
And it didn't take but, 50 seconds to erase that 6-point deficit and turn into a 1-point lead for the Eagles.
A couple of steals by the Eagles. Some active defense as both teams are kind of going up and down the floor scoring. There's Kobe Moore off to Connor Easthope. His shot is blocked, picked up by McVie. Now Kobe Moore will hand it to Sampson. He'll put it up short. And Bergen will get the rebound, and Skyline will try and get it back down the floor quickly. Tried to get it into Bergen, and that pass is too hot to handle off his hands. Picked up by Mac Van Renneram. And he'll bring it back down the floor slowly and set the Pioneer offense. Kobe Moore stripped away from him. And Skyline will bring it back down the floor quickly. There's Chris Caton with it. Kick it off in the corner. Jack Williams, his three-pointer is short. And back come the Pioneers.
And then last time up the court, we saw the Pioneers bring Sampson up off that block. I'm curious to see if they'll keep moving with that or if that was just a one-off.
Back behind it, pass, flip.
Will Fischera with a shoulder dip and cut to the hoop on that little lay-in.
Check out the pass that Fischera gets from Van Renderham before that score.
I think we will check it out in a moment.
Whistle.
And here it is.
An offensive foul.
Van
back behind the back flip to Fischera.
Love it.
The score.
Love it. And that's a great connection between two players. You know that your player is going to be in the right spot. You can count on him doing what he's supposed to do, which is cutting towards the hoop, and you can just kind of flip it over and easy bucket for Fischera.
Kind of tells you two players that have practiced a lot together.
Exactly.
Underneath the hoop, Connor Easthope underneath the bucket.
Easthope is a player that
practices
practices a lot. Very nice.
Pioneer back out to the three-point advantage. Now Gardner down the lane. His shot off the glass no good. Easthope with the board. He'll hand it off to Kobe Moore, who will bring it down the floor. Moore shut off momentarily, then he'll take it to the hoop and score it. Kobe Moore just relentless.
He is. He is. Strong, high-energy guy. He's the type of player that Coach Marion wants other players to model their game off of. Go strong, don't be timid, be fierce down low.
Caton will dish off to Gardner, back to Bergen for the three. Way off the mark there. Now spotting up for a three, Fischera, that one's no good. Bergen in with the rebound. Check it, that's Caton with the rebound.
I like the way Caton gets that rebound, but doesn't feel the need to push it up. Waits for his players, doesn't want to make any mistakes. Get into that half-court offense where Skyline really thrives.
Now Bergen with it on the low block. Easthope defending. His shot is short. Easthope will pick it up and hand it off to Van Rennerem.
Bergen wanted the foul on that last one, but I think anything short of some sort of a mugging, you're not going to get too many fouls here.
Now Sampson will have to kick it out to Moore. Sampson will try and set up the pick. Knocked away by Gardner. Skyline down the floor. There's the shot. It's good. Counted in the foul. Gabe Kelman with the bucket. He'll head to the line with the possible three-point play.
Great job coming up the court here. Van Renderham gets himself planted, tries to draw the foul, but to no avail. He picks up the foul. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the 7th for Pioneer. That's going to put the Eagles in the bonus for this last 1 minute, 12 seconds. And I got to say, Pete, I am a little surprised that they called that foul. Just with how much contact has been allowed up to this point. And Van Renderham really seemed like he had his feet planted there. If that one doesn't get called, that wouldn't have surprised me.
Well, a minute to go here in the half. Pioneer with the three-point advantage. Moore will pick it up off the floor. Now back up to Fischera. Pick up the dribble, try and bounce it over to Sampson. Gets it to him. Steal by Kelman, excuse me. Under 30 seconds to go. Skyline can hold it for the final shot of the half. Kate holding out by the timeline. And now we have a turnover. 5-second call on Chris Caton.
And it sure seemed like he made a move forward at least one of those times. I wonder if that might have been right there, end there.
But you can see the referee is still counting.
Yeah. I don't know. Apparently they didn't count that crossover as any more of a forward motion, and that was it.
Referee's judgment call.
Yeah.
Pass is thrown away. Good pressure defense by Caton, forcing the turnover.
Coach Lovelace took that one off his noodle, I think. See that errant pass, Lovelace just minding his own business and caught it right on the side of his face.
Don't want to take too many off the melon there.
Not phased in the least, though. Barely phased. He kind of looked at the ball and got right back to work. That's a real professional right there, Coach Mike Lovelace.
7 seconds to go. Skyline with an opportunity. Get a shot off. Inbounded to Caton. Caton will drive the lane. It's knocked away from him. And we have a whistle and a blocking foul is called on Pioneer.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either, Pete. It just seems like things are a little ticky-tack after watching 15 straight minutes of hard-nosed hoops. Had a couple of ticky-tack calls. You said it got knocked away, but apparently there was some body or some hip involved.
Caton at the line. Gets the rubber rim to roll, and ball passes through the hoop.
And to get this to a one-possession game going to the second half, that's big for the Eagles.
Caton with an opportunity to get the lead down to 1 heading into halftime with just 0.6 seconds left to go. Next one on the way, and that was much better. And that shot is errant, and had an exciting halftime, Nick. We're going to catch our breath here. We're going to take a break and come back with second half action. It's 29 for Pioneer, 28 for Skyline here at CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Ugh, glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with, ew! Cat food still in the can is bad.
But oh, so good.
Hey, what are you doing?
Relax, Mom. We're here to help.
Oh, this stuff could ruin the entire recycling load.
Wow, I had no idea.
Chill, we'll show you the ropes.
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Pete Porter along with Nick Wisniewski. Just about to start the second half of play. Pioneer held the lead for most of that first half, but Skyline really demonstrating their ability to get back in the game and get it close, and we're within a point right now, 29-28.
Always fighting, never hanging their heads, and they've got a bunch of different players on this team that will allow them to get back into the game. It's not like they're just relying on Chris Caton. They've got Jack Williams out there that can shoot. They've got Denali Deloach that they can go down low to and does a lot of other positive things. A lot of ways for this Skyline team to hurt you.
Bergen down low, can't get the shot to drop, fight for it on the floor. And we have a tied ball situation. Alternating possession. It'll belong to the Pioneers.
Yeah, a couple of times in that first half, Pete, like you alluded to, Skyline found themselves down by 6, but it didn't last long. Within 30, 40, 50 seconds, they could come back.
Well, both teams playing at high pace, high energy, trying to keep the respective defenses back on their heels.
And up until that last 90 seconds or so, the referee's really letting both teams play, letting a lot of contact go.
There's a drive and a score by Van Rennergem. And just like that, Eagles come right back and score it going their way. Bergen on the switch, tries to force Van Rennergem way out high. Now into the corner for Aiden Lee. And he hits the three-pointer. And Pioneer up on top, 34-30. Down low, Caton can't get his shot to drop. Pioneer will bring it back the other way. And Lee in the corner again, and nothing but net for Aiden Lee. And we'll have timeout on the floor after that second three hit by Lee, and Pioneer forging out to a 7-point advantage just like that.
Back-to-back triples by Lee. We'll see him. This could have been the first one or the second one. They were both set up in both the exact same way. Lee can't believe it. I don't think he was even in the first half, and now he's hit 2 triples within the first minute and a half of the second half and gotten Pioneer out to another 7-point lead. Skyline calls the timeout, and it'll be on them to figure out how to, A, not let Lee hit another triple, and B, what do they do to get back into this game again?
Well, I'll tell you what, the key is to not letting Lee get another triple.
Yes.
Is guard him. Yeah. He was open, wide open on both of those 3-point attempts.
Correct you are.
And he made the Eagles pay.
Those were both no-doubters from him. He knew both of those were going in.
Well, and Aiden Lee, if I'm not mistaken, a former key player of the game. On CTN Sports Game of the Week.
It's a very distinguished group that he's in there then.
Got him to go ahead and autograph that key.
Like that.
So his name is on there, as long as all the other key players of the game in this winter semester.
It's a clever idea. Winter semester, yep, exactly.
Caton will bring it up the floor, hand it off to the junior Jack Sigma. I'm dating myself there, Gardner.
People over a certain age are going to get that reference. I got the reference. I liked it.
Yeah, if you're watching basketball back in the late 70s, early 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bergen finally gets a shot to drop. Kobe Moore quickly back. Gardner with the attempted block, but he might be the one picking up that foul.
Moore very smartly received that pass, turned, and goes towards the hoop. And Gardner's the one. Yeah, or it might have been called on Kamara down there.
Kobe Moore at the line. Cannot get the first one to drop.
Let's see Moore go to the hoop again. Yeah, I think that one's on Kamara, honestly.
I think you're right, Nick.
Gardner appeared to have all ball.
Moore gets the second one to fall.
That was the case he made to the official as well.
Caton looking for the screen from Gardner, will drive the lane. It's blocked by Sampson. Bergen picks it up off the floor, and we have a whistle, and Bergen called for the travel. And it'll go back Pioneers' way.
Excellent job by Sampson, mucking up that lane, getting his hands up, jumping around. No easy buckets, no easy looks for the Eagles with Sampson down there.
Sampson has it at the top of the key. Handed off to Van Ryan. Over to Easto. Now back to Lee for three. And he hits another three-pointer, his third one of the second half. Pioneer out to the 9-point lead now. And another whistle.
And Lee single-handedly changing the look and dynamic of this ball game. He sent that up and he knew. He's feeling it. He's in the zone, Pete.
Offensive foul on the Eagles. That is not going to help their effort. Pioneer back with the possession. Well, he has it. He's not going to throw one up at this time. Point in. Head up to Moore. Now Moore's pass is intercepted. And Skyline back the other way. Gardner's got it. Into the corner. And thrown away by Skyline.
And Moore with the turnover on that last play, but he was looking for Lee.
Off the hands of Williams. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Is that offense with Sampson that comes to the top of the key. I don't know if they're looking for a pick and roll, but yeah, the travel off of that, not great.
Another turnover for the Pioneers.
There you see Sampson coming off that screen, that soft screen. Shuffles his feet a little bit before that second bounce goes down, and that's it.
Lee trying to get the steal.
Kick ball on Lee there.
Skyline will keep the possession. Caton will get the pass. He'll go down the lane. Can't hit the shot. Gets his own rebound back. Put back no good. And Lee will rebound for Pioneer. Self will hand it off to Lee. Now he's guarded by two guys. Down low to Sampson for the easy bucket from East Hope.
And up close and personal there with Mr. Lee almost, Pete.
I didn't move.
You know, no flinch at all. You're tough.
Flinch.
You're tough. And then we can see also tough Sampson on that last bucket.
He ran me over.
Only if we get it on tape. Only if it comes on camera.
Right.
It's pointless if that doesn't happen.
Well, that's true. Tixer, it didn't happen, right?
Right. And here we are with Pioneer with a 11-point lead in this third quarter now. And the third quarter is where things changed the first matchup between these two teams. They went into the halftime last game even or just within 2 points, one squad or the other. And Skyline pulled ahead because the Pioneers couldn't hit free throws or they missed up on some easy opportunities. And this time around, the Pioneers are not letting history repeat itself.
Now Williams with the floater in the lane, and he'll hit it for the Eagles. Eagles still down 9. 3:25 to play here in the third. Three-pointer on the way is off the mark and rebounded by Skyline.
Yeah, might as well throw that one up and give it a try.
Blocking foul called on Pioneer.
See Williams there. Cut to the hoop, draw the contact, and try to do something. But he's rewarded. He's rewarded 2 opportunities here.
Williams hits the first.
Pioneer faithful in their brightly colored outfits this evening. Looking very 90s, like it.
Williams misses the second. Skyline down 8. Pressure defense being applied by Skyline. Lee with check that.
That's a great job by Lee getting that player off of his feet so he could cut down baseline. Just couldn't find his man out there.
Skyline with another opportunity to close the gap. Bergen with the drive. He'll hand it out to Williams for the 3, and he hits it. And that'll close the lead for Pioneer down to 5. Now Moore with the ball off the glass. That's no good. Rebounded by Skyline.
That shot.
Get down the floor quickly. Nice job by the Pioneer defense to slow him down just a bit.
That last shot was just out of reach of Denali Deloach, who one of the first times we've called his name here in the second half.
Now Deloach and Bergen trying to communicate. Now Williams will spot up for 3 again. Off the mark, no good. DeWolf with the rebound for Pioneer. A whistle on the floor. And a foul before the shot and drive.
Foul on number 10, Trey Ellis.
Jack Williams getting a little too excited, a little too aggressive there. Still, the fouls have been pretty manageable thus far, Pete. Only 2 for the Pioneers, 3 for Skyline at this point in the third quarter.
Teixeira will inbound, gets it to East Hope. It's knocked away from East Hope. And here come the Eagles. That's Caton with it. He'll drive the lane, now pass off to Deloach for the layup. And Pioneers lead cut to 3. Jumper on the way, off the mark. Deloach with the rebound. And it's Caton. And here comes Chris Caton down the lane once again. He'll hand it off. We have a whistle and a foul before the pass.
Great awareness by Caton on that last play up the court. He started to take a stutter step to slow it down a little bit, but then you'll see him attack right in through there and then dish to his man down low.
Aiden Lee, number 23, in for Pioneer. Also number 24, Connor Eastwood.
Oh, knocked away. Williams picks it up off the floor. And it's, let's see what the call is here. Looks like that's going to be Pioneer basketball.
Timeout, Pioneer.
We can hear Rich Marion calling for a timeout. And that's what we'll get. Both teams will head to their respective benches for instructions from their coaches.
And I think this is going to be a timeout and discussing about how to break this press for the Eagles. The moment that they put that press on, it's been an issue for Pioneer. They haven't been able to get through it, and when they have, it hasn't gone smoothly. So he's going to tell, Coach Marion's going to tell his guys, slow down, find space, don't fall into these traps. But that's not easy to do with these Eagle players who are so long, who have such reach going for them. And they're quick.
Well, and Pioneer certainly wants to stop this Eagle comeback yet again.
Little momentum stopper is probably part of the idea as well. And I wouldn't be surprised, here we go, if the Eagles pull out of this press now. They got in there, they switched it up for a second, gave them a different look, did some damage, now back to the basics.
Van Retterham with it. Off the Fly, Fly with the shot. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Tip back is no good.
And Fly had to adjust his shot so much to try to loft that ball over Deloach, and he still couldn't do it.
Drive by Williams down the lane, and his layup off the glass is good. Now it's just a 1-point advantage for Pioneer. And Lee with the drive and the score.
Aiden Lee, Mr. Third Quarter.
It's been the Aiden Lee quarter for the Pioneers. Caton will back it out, reset the offense for the Eagles. Trying to go for the final shot here in quarter number 3. Under 20 seconds. Now 10. Caton with the drive, and he'll take it down the lane and scored for the Eagles. Now Fly quickly back down the floor, and his shot is blocked by Deloach. Out of bounds. 0.2 seconds to go. Pioneer will keep possession. It'll be difficult for them to get a shot off here.
Yeah, other than some sort of tip-in or alley-oop, not terribly likely.
And Colby Moore gets it.
But there it is.
Puts it in before the buzzer.
And I think they're calling no bucket. And there's a discussion between Coach Marion and the official on the far end.
No bucket is the call.
And I don't understand how that'll work because he was off of his feet. It just barely touched off of his fingertips.
And we'll take a look at it here on the replay.
Great job by Moore working his way in. Good communication with the baseline to slip past that man and go
exactly
up.
What they wanted.
Yeah.
So end of 3, it's Pioneer 45 and Skyline 44. Looking forward to a great fourth quarter on tap here after the break right here on CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Yeah. And they have mismatch day. They had it like it's coming up or it just passed. And I thought to myself, isn't that every day for this age? I think she's mismatch day every day.
I'm pretty amazed by some of the clothes I put the baby in that I think are going to be cute. And then I'm like, what was I thinking?
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows.
Whoa! Cool, where am I?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers. I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand 82gov.org/watchCTN.
What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community-produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
For video on demand, go to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to find your favorite show. Scroll through the mini playlists or simply use the search bar to type in the name of the program.
I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit 82gov.org/watchCTN for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends. Once I leave.
Goodbye.
Hello?
And welcome back to CTN Sports Game of the Week. Quarter number 4 just about to start. Aiden Lee knocks out of bounds, so Skyline will keep the possession. Bergen gets it into Caton. He'll bring it across the timeline. Well, Pioneer had a 9-point advantage in that third quarter thanks to Aiden Lee's 11 points. But the Eagles have clawed their way back into within 1.
Lee in the mix as well. Looks like the Pioneers are playing solid defense. And as you mentioned, Lee was clearly the deciding factor in that third quarter. hitting 3 threes and another bucket to boot. But now he's out playing defense on Chris Caton. Not an easy task.
Stopped in the lane, three-pointer on the way from Kobe Moore, nothing but net. I think all of these players are going to make it a really tough decision for us for key player of the game.
I think key player of the game might be that corner of the floor for Pioneer, just that little spot of hardwood down there.
I don't think you can award the key player of the game to a section of the floor, but and good luck getting an autograph. Oh, Davis with the bucket for Skyline. Don't want to get Pioneer up to another big lead here in this fourth quarter, keeping it close. There's another intercept and another steal by Skyline. Lee almost stole it back. Bergen with it for the Eagles. He'll scoop it, can't get it to go. Running for it off the floor, it'll be picked up by Bergen. And back out to Caton to reset the offense.
Nothing but good
Bergen
things.
spotting up for three, and that's short.
Good things to say about the toughness of the Eagles down on that last play, Pete.
Well, the Eagles play some really good defense. Their hands are active, getting in the passing lanes, knocking balls away, getting steals. It's the key to their comebacks. Goaltending called on Deloach. Definitely off the backboard first.
Easy call
on
there,
Sampson's
Deloach.
Shot.
Yeah.
Count Sampson's shot.
Deloach just a little
back
too.
up by 4.
Yep. Little too overzealous there by Deloach. That ball's way on its way down. On its way down and probably on its way in, so a moot point either way, but.
Timeout called by Skyline. Or check it. It's a turnover by Skyline. It's only Pioneer possession.
That's his second foul.
Offensive foul called on Skyline. Back it back out. Guarded by Caton. Moore to Lee. Back to Moore.
Skyline's
double guarded.
Skyline's man-to-man D looks really
Kick it out
dialed in.
for Lee for 3. Nope, he won't get the shot off. He'll come in closer. And Lee will fake us all out and get the 2-pointer to go.
Smart play by Lee. Everybody's thinking he's going up for the 3. Little head fake, gets his man off his feet. 2 steps in, easy jumper for him.
Easthope will pick up a foul. His first on the night.
Looks like
Williams
Caton
will inbound for Skyline.
Caton got caught up in the lane there, his legs tripped up.
Under 5 minutes to play in the game. Pioneer up 6, but it is still close. Kabir with the shot. And it's blocked. Pioneer will bring it back the other way. Kobe Moore calling for it. 4-3 in the corner again. That one's off the mark. Kicked out high, picked up by Lee, and Pioneer will keep possession. Van Rennerham on the drive. It's knocked away from him. Kobe Moore will pick it up though. And Pioneer still with it. Now Moore will back out for 3, and that's good. And Pioneer back out to a 9-point advantage again. And timeout on the floor called by the Eagles.
Kobe Moore with a pro-level 2K step back. Got Bergen to jump back and had no chance to get back and put a hand up in his face. Outstanding play by Moore. And Moore's somebody we've been talking about the whole game. We've loved his energy. He's doing it down low offensively. He's doing it down low defensively. And now we see him with that move out of 3-point arc. Just a great player, a lot of fun to watch tonight.
Nice job creating some space, getting his shot. Make sure you check out all of our social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Students are reminded that there is no dance tonight. The dance has been canceled. We haven't heard of school earlier tonight. No dance tonight, sorry.
Hey, we just got an announcement there's no dance tonight, Pete. Guess that's.
I was looking forward to you showing me your breakdancing moves, Nick.
More of a line dancer.
This is your nickname, Pop and Lock?
That is
Among others.
not my nickname. That's great.
They call you Nicky Trips because you can hit the 3 and because you can do the triple
right.
Lindy.
That's right. No dance
Two-sport
tonight.
star, basketball and swimming. It's amazing.
The lesser-known two-sport athlete. I think Dangerfield probably played hoops in back to school. Pioneers have found themselves with another 9-point lead now.
Skyline on offense once again. See if they can draw up a play. Kicked out to the corner for 3. It's off the front of the rim, no good from Williams. Out of bounds, it'll be Pioneer ball. I'm not exactly sure that's the play that Lovelace was drawing up there in the timeout.
No, I don't think that was the first option or probably even the second or third option.
Down low, gets it to Sampson, he gets the roll and the bucket.
And that is a great dime by Moore to find Sampson down low, get it exactly where he needed to be, and lead him heading towards the rim. Sampson had a real nice, easy, just lean forward and drop that guy in.
I have to say, a really great team effort by the Pioneers tonight.
Yeah, we were
offensively.
Absolutely. Well, defensively too, they're doing a great job of sticking with their man. They're talking, they're calling out switches as needed, and they're really showing that toughness that Coach Marion wanted to see here tonight.
3.5 minutes to go in the game. Hopefully the Eagles can have another comeback in them. They're down 11, 57-46. Foul called. Caton will head to the line.
And if you want to start a comeback, this is where it can start, right here. Easy free throws, drain these. Maybe they give a flash a look at that press again for a minute and a half.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Caton is the first.
There's Caton being aggressive and making things happen for him. If he can't get all the way to the rack, he's going to get some contact and get to the easy way.
Caton gets them both to go, and they are pressing.
And here we see the Eagles back into that diamond press.
Whistle, and timeout is called by Pioneer head coach Rich Marion.
Sure, and now it's time to talk about, all right, let's break this. It's smart that he saw it, recognized it, and just said, we're not even going to try it this first time out. Let's draw it up on the board. I guarantee you there is some expo marker going on over there.
Agreed, Nick. I have nothing to say to counter that.
Can't even see Coach Marion in there.
Pioneer has a bunch of people in the work release program in their student section. Hey, fans are fans, right?
Everybody makes mistakes, Pete. Actually, I see a lot of those guys along 94 on my route over here. Too many of those guys.
It is part of my daily route every day.
And it'll be interesting to see what the Pioneers do pull out to draw up a way to break this press. If they'll go to the corner and then a quick pass to the man cutting up the middle, or will they try to go long right from the onset? As the Pioneers coming out, it looks like they've got Moore, Lee, Easthope, and Van Redderham down in the diamond area, and Sampson, lone man back with Bergen underneath the hoop. You got Jack Williams in his bedhead defending ball.
Rebounded to Kobe Moore. Skyline backs out of their press. Now The Skyline student section coming to life, chanting defense, defense.
Yeah, they're only down 9 points right now, Pete. With 3 minutes left to go, they've shown the ability to make these comebacks and to do it pretty quickly. They've got the horses to do it.
Eagles playing a pretty stiff defense there. They surround more, but looks like Williams is going to be called. Jack Williams, rather, is going to be called for the foul. Team foul number 6. Now Lee will hand it off to Moore, back to Lee. In the corner to Easthope. Now Lee looked for a moment to go for the 3, now he's going to drive it. He scores it, but no basket. They're going to call a foul before the drive.
Really smart play by Lee, though, because us, like everybody else on that court, just assumes that he's taking that 3. And even the merest ball fake gets 2 guys up off their feet, and he can duck forward and either go towards the rim or pass one off there.
Wade and Lee shooting the 1-and-1, gets the first one to go, earns the second shot. Next one on the way is also good. Back to an 11-point advantage for the Pioneers. 2.5 minutes to go. And there's a quick bucket by Caden. And Eagles pressing once again. Easthope has it. Gets it to Moore. And they'll break the press to Van Venerem. Out to Lee for 3, wide open. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Off a Pioneer player. The Skyline basketball.
Great effort there by Moore to get in the mix and gum things up on that rebound. They don't want to give any easy rebound to these Eagles where they can just grab one and then transition up the court.
Oh, Caden will step back for 3. That's off the mark, no good. And if Lee had hit that 3, that might have been lights out for the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree. You're completely correct.
Another whistle, another foul on the Eagles.
Kobe Moore still working hard, still being that energy guy that you wanted to see. He's doing a great job on the offensive boards and a real contributor offensively from top to bottom.
Time is starting to run out here for the Skyline Eagles. Under 2 minutes to go. Kobe Moore at the line for the Pioneers.
Yeah, we'll be at the point here probably where Skyline needs to run quick off transition and still probably pull up for 3-pointers.
Moore misses the front end. Caden with it. He'll drive the lane. He'll kick it out for 3. That is off the mark, no good. Caden will pick it up on the offensive rebound. He draws the foul.
And this is 100% what you do not want if you're the Pioneers, giving up second chances. Second chances and offensive rebounds are going to be killers when you're going back and looking at this film later on in the week.
Caden gets the first one to go.
Caden pulls them within 8.
Second one on the way is also good, and Eagles down 7. It was just 11 a moment ago. Sampson's got it, and he's going to be fouled. And he will head to the line. Another 1-and-1 opportunity here.
Great awareness by Van Retterham to break that press. He saw an opportunity and he went for it. Never hesitated, never thought twice, put the ball in the court and went straight up his way. Found his man Sampson. Sampson draws the foul, and he's got an opportunity to extend this lead a little bit beyond 7.
Gets the first one to go.
And this is a huge opportunity, and it's such a big thing that so many high school coaches talk about, Pete, is closing out, finishing your opponents, whether it's just scoring or hitting these all-important free throws.
Sampson gets the second one to roll in. 9-point edge again. Now Williams for three, and that's good. And Skyline will call a timeout. Skyline down 6, 1:25 to go here in the game.
Skyline feeling that hope, and Coach Marion there feeling incredulous. Great pass out to Williams with two dudes coming at him in his face. Nails that one. And he's so confident, so calm and cool. No big deal as he walks over to his bench.
And Skyline hanging around, down 6.
Hanging around, hanging around.
Next foul by the Eagles. The Pioneers will head to the line for 2 shots. It'll be their double bonus.
So it's definitely on the Eagles to play smart defense, stay with their man, and communicate with each other.
Pioneers, on the other hand, only have 5 team fouls, so they have 1 to give before Skyline starts shooting the 1-and-1.
See if Pie High can do about breaking this press.
Tie up. Possession arrow pointing towards the Pioneers. Now the referees are talking about it. And after they discuss it, they agree. Tie up.
You see Moore receives the ball, and he hesitates just a little too much. If he gets that ball over to East Hope quickly, just a give and go, that makes for a little bit of a different ending on that one.
Greg Venderem breaks the press out by himself. Pioneer doesn't have to shoot it. They can take their time. Evan Rennergam almost trapped there out of the timeline. Heady play, smart play by an experienced player. We can hear him shouting timeout.
Really heads up, smart play by your point guard right there, recognizing that trap was coming, knowing that they've got these timeouts to burn. Excellent job. And now Skyline huddle there's got to be feeling pretty invigorated with where they're at right now. Only down 6 with a minute left. This game felt like it was almost over.
It sure did.
And now they're 2 possessions. That's it. And the way that this press has been going, who knows? It could be, tide could turn real quickly in here.
Well, definitely plenty of time for the Eagles to get it closer, try and win this game.
And I don't feel like the Eagles need to spot up and shoot 3-pointers. If they've got something,
not at this point,
right?
Not yet.
Right. If they've got something open down low, or if Caton or one of those players can go to the rim, they're going to take that opportunity.
Pioneers will inbound. Connor Easthope will inbound for the Pioneers. They'll get it in the backcourt to Van Rentram. Pioneer really doesn't have to shoot the ball. Sampson will take it to the hole and score it. Now quickly down the floor come the Eagles. Back out for 3 to Bergen. It's off the rim, no good. Lee will rebound. And another foul called, this one on Chris Caton. 42.3 seconds. And that might just do it for this Eagle comeback.
It'll be on Lee here to see if he can put these away. There's see Bergen. Long shot off the front iron, and Lee just in the right spot. Gets fouled, and he'll go to the line and see if he can put this one away.
Yeah, Kabir Bergen really needed to have that 3 fall.
Yep, and it was close. It was on. It was just a tad, just a little short. As usual, a game of inches, Pete.
Lee hits another one. And gets a second one to drop. If my math is correct, I think Lee has 15 points all in the second half.
And yeah, I think you're spot on. And he was the catalyst starting that second half of those 3-pointers. And he's been doing his job down here, down the stretch, hitting these free throws. And not to be discounted, his defense as well. He's been out there playing strong defense, staying with his man.
Well, I could see why he was a key player of the game earlier this season. Oh, 32.6 to go. Moore hits the free throw. Back out to an 11-point advantage.
Moore continues to make a strong bid as well for player of the game.
And Moore gets the second one to go. Three-pointer on the way. That's off the mark, no good. And Moore quickly back down the floor. Gets it to Sampson. Looked like he was trying to go for the dunk. Misses the short shot. And Caton back the other way for Skyline, and he will score it under 10 seconds to go. Well, Skyline will back it off, and the final seconds will tick off the clock, and Pioneer will come away with the 10-point home victory, 67-57. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more right here on CTN Sports Game of the Week. What are you going for?
And here we are post-game with our key player of the game, Aiden Lee, the spark plug, the catalyst for the win tonight and that second half just rocketing out. Tell me what it was like coming off a little cold, but just being so hot in that corner.
No, man, it's all good. I mean, my teammates put me in the right spot. I get open. They put me in the right spot. Props to Mac and Kobe feeding me the ball. Good stuff.
You were doing it defensively as well. Tell me a little bit about the mindset and the toughness that you and your team had on the other end of the court.
Oh, yeah, no, we weren't worried. We know what we can do. We just work together and we'll come out with the dub.
And what was your coach telling you at halftime and all those timeouts that kept you guys even-headed, not getting too ahead of yourself?
I mean, he told us we were doing everything good. We just need to cut down turnovers, keep composed, no turning the ball over, good stuff like that.
Aiden Lee, we'll get you to sign that thing here in just a second. But, Pete, back to you.
Thanks, Nick. And Aiden Lee, our key player of the game. I'd like to thank all the people that makes this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross. Audio replay by Chloe Hill. Our CG Ops by Beth Lundy. Our camera people, Tim Nagai, Nathaniel Johnson, and Brittany Schember. For Nick Wisniewski, this is Pete Poyer. Once again, the final from Pioneer High School. It's Pioneer 67, Skyline 57.